Hello, Kobe from Portsmouth Residential here. Today we're going to talk about owner monthly statements for both our rental management agreement and rental association program units. First, let's explain how the rental association program works. If you're not in the program, this does not apply to your unit. Feel free to skip to the breakdown of rental management agreement owner monthly reports. To start, the figures shown are for demonstrating purposes only. These are set as an example as these figures can change. When the developers first made the community, they offered a leaseback incentive program. When the program ended, our community was in a transition of change. We implemented a new program for longevity to help owners achieve consistency and maximize cash flow. The rental association program will combine all of the revenues received from managed units for the purposes of distributing the revenues on a pro rata share basis to each of the owners in the community. To understand the program, you need to look at the building as a whole. Each unit was given an owner percentage based on the developer paid leaseback at the time the condos were constructed. This in turn makes each unit bed a share, where that unit's income and expenses are allocated between all owners in the program. If you own one unit, you own one share. Each unit refers to each room as we lease by the bed. As there are over 200 units under our management, the rental association program allocates each unit with a percentage based on square footage of the property. Studios have a percentage share of 0.6% for one bed. A townhome or apartment with 3 beds make each bed have a share of 0.4%. If you own a studio, that gives you a final ownership percentage of 0.6%. Say you own a 3-bedroom apartment. Each bed gives you a percentage share of 0.4%. 0.4% times 3 equals 1.2%. That 1.2% is your ownership percentage. So, the rental association program takes all income and expenses from that calendar month and divides them amongst all participating owners using the pro-rata share of your ownership percentage. What this means for your income is that the resident pays their monthly rent, and that amount is split between all owners participating in the program. For expenses, we first pay out of pocket, then bill the owner for that expense that is then divided between all participating owners. However, for some charges, like a lockout charge of $56.50, this is first paid out of pocket, which is split between all participating owners. Then the tenant is charged for the lockout, and that income is added back into the pool and divided amongst all participating owners. The monthly statement will show these allocations. The date column shows which calendar month the allocation is for. The reference column shows which account it came from. The property column shows which property it is and the ownership percentage. The note column shows where the income is from or where the expense is from. The income column shows your share of the income allocations of all participating owners. The expense column shows the amount of expenses that were allocated between all participating owners. The balance column shows the adding of all income and subtracting of all expenses. The ending balance row shows all of the income column's value added together. It also shows the value of the expense column added together, and the value of your payables due after all income and expenses have been calculated from the balance column. For rental management agreement units, the monthly owner report is similar. The date column shows which calendar month the allocation is for. The reference column shows which account it came from. The property column shows which property it is. The payee/payer column shows the source of where the funds came from or who they will be paid to. The note column shows where the income is from or where the expense is from. The income column shows the funds that were added to the starting balance. The expense column shows the amount of expenses that were added to the starting balance. The balance column shows the adding of all income and subtracting of all expenses for that month. The ending balance row shows what is left over in reserves and the remaining deposit amount for that unit. To see how much you have made that month, simply look at the payee/payer column, find your owner's name, and in that note column, find amount. In the expense column, it will show your final payment after a management fee of 16% plus 13% HST.